You're clean, aren't you? Except for your tower. You're a tower junkie, Roland.
Hello and welcome to Tower Junkies, presented by ObsessiveViewer.com. Tower Junkies is a podcast celebrating the work of Stephen King with a special focus on his magnum opus, the Dark Tower series. We discuss the themes, characters, and mythology of the series in Palaver episodes, and review the books and comic series in Kef episodes. We also discuss non-Tower King novels, TV and film adaptations of King's work, and the latest news about all things that serve the King. You can find more of our work at TowerJunkiesPod.com and follow us on every level of social media at Tower Junkies Pod. I'm one of your hosts, Matt Hurt, and with me, as usual, is Tiny.
Hey, guys.
Hi, Tiny. How's it going?
Bueno.
Greato. We just recorded a special Patreon exclusive recording, which you can find at patreon.com/obsessiveviewer. We talked about a bevy of, no pun intended, we talked about a bevy of different things.
And Beverly Marsh.
Yes, she actually did not come up.
She did not.
Yeah, anyway, we talked a lot about, dogs and death and movies. So yeah, check that out at patreon.com/obsessiveviewer. You get access to a, bunch of specific, recordings recorded specifically for Patreon supporters. So today on the podcast, we're doing something special that we haven't done one of these since the Dark Tower movie came out. We're doing a commentary track. And that is super exciting. So basically what we're doing in honor of the impending release of It Chapter 2, we are recording a special commentary track for It Chapter 1. So if you're listening to this and you want to watch the movie along with us, we're going to do a timestamp to sync it up with the movie. And yeah, so without further ado, let's go right into it. Tiny, are you prepared?
I'm ready.
Okay. All right, we are watching this on Vudu. We're watching it on Vudu. It's a digital copy. We are at the 0-second mark, and the Warner Brothers logo is on screen, and we are pressing play right now. Now. Okay. 2 seconds, 3 seconds, 4 seconds. Warner Brothers. So Tiny.
Yes, sir.
It Chapter 1.
Yes.
Yes. How many times have you seen this?
I've seen it twice. Saw it in the theater and then
really?
once at home. Yeah.
Interesting. I have watched this so many times.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's kind of been my go-to of, like, something to throw on in the background while I'm editing. And what's interesting is, like, this beginning part where it has the, like, children singing. I almost said screaming. That goes into the piano music playing. I thought that was interesting. Kind of I didn't really make it correlate with the book at all or anything. But I thought it was an interesting. Did you have any feelings on that?
A little bit of a horror movie trope, I think.
No, yes,
tropish. Yeah.
I think that's kind of what I was getting at.
Yeah. But I love this. I'm so glad that, the movie kept in line with the book, with the opening.
Oh, yeah.
Started out with, Georgie and Big Bill starting out with the boat and the gutter and stuff like that. It's just such a perfect way to start the story.
It absolutely is.
And I think if they had done something else, it would have just felt out of place, or it wouldn't have. I don't know if they could have captured the tone and all that stuff, all the good qualities of the movie, if they would have started somewhere else.
Absolutely, and it sets up Bill's arc throughout the whole movie, really, and kind of sets the stakes for the town of Derry, essentially. And I love a good shot sequence where weather is in play, like the rain and everything. Like it's kind of gorgeous,
right?
And I remember when we saw this in the theater, because we went the first time I saw it in theater, because I saw it a couple times in theaters. First time I saw it in theaters was with our Facebook group, our group outing, Losers Club screening. And like, I think any time that I watch a Stephen King movie, like a newer Stephen King movie that hasn't been released yet, I just kind of get really excited whenever I say like see like based on the novel by Stephen King.
Mm-hmm.
It's just I don't know, it's exciting.
It sure is.
Yeah. And I wanted to mention the font when it says October 1988.
Mm-hmm.
It's a weird kind of it's a nice homage to like 80s slasher movies, I feel like.
Okay.
And particularly, I don't know if this is intentional or if this is just me kind of conflating it in my mind, but it kind of feels similar to like the font in like the Halloween movies.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
Has that feel to it.
Yeah. Yeah. So what do you think of the acting?
That's one of the highlights of the movie is that, the kids are not terrible. The kids are actually opposite. They're fantastic. And all of them are. I mean, I don't think there's a weak link in this cast at all.
I really don't think so either.
Not anywhere. If there is one, I sure as hell don't know where it is.
We might find it here.
We might. Yeah. But even like, Georgie, I don't know how old that actor is, but he can't be more than 8 or 9 years old.
Right.
When they were filming this. And that's hard, man.
Totally.
What the hell was I doing when I was 8 or 9?
Yeah.
Probably still pooping my pants.
Right, we're up. 33 here. Just kidding.
Hell, last week. I mean, not really.
No. Yeah, the basement sequence and everything where he's running up the stairs with the flashlight and everything. I forgot to check when we were watching it, but I kept looking for Easter eggs when I first saw it, and like I think he passed by like turtle wax, and I was like, "Is that a reference?" But yeah,
yeah. Plus that opening, him going into the basement.
Mm-hmm.
I think one of the things that's so great about this story is that we were all kids once, and we all had these feelings, and most of us had a good group of friends and stuff like that.
Yes,
and so there's just heaps and mountains of stuff to relate to as a reader of the book or a watcher of the movie. Mm-hmm. And that's why part of why this story succeeds so well.
Yes.
And one of the things is that jumped right out of me with this opening, this prelude, if you will, is Georgie going down to that basement, because I grew up with a basement.
Oh yeah.
And I was scared of it because it's dark as balls down there.
Right.
And it's scary. I remember looking down the basement stairs as a kid and being thankful that we had the light switch at the top of the stairs.
Yeah.
And I could turn the lights on. I'm like, okay, there's nothing down there. And I remember, you turn off the lights and you look down those stairs and it's like something could just jump right out of there right now. And it's that total, the movie taps into that totally irrational fear.
Totally.
That you had as a child.
Yep.
And like they just there's no dialogue in that scene. It's all emotion. It's emotive from, the actor playing Georgie, and camera work.
Yeah.
And it's just that well
There's some
done.
Sound design there too, but it's also
right.
like, and kind of tricking the eye a little bit, but it's like, I mean, it is so evocative of that time of your life where you're a kid and like your imagination is overactive, and it's just, like you put what is in there, like you put fear into the basement of a dark basement.
Right.
And I want to mention that we passed by where it said based on novel by Stephen King, and he knocked his head on the thing.
Yeah.
There's a great subreddit called Kids Falling Over. Hilarious.
Yeah.
It's just children being knocked over or falling over because they don't have like fast enough reflexes. It's hilarious. So.
Oh, there's a great Instagram that's just called Kids Getting Hurt.
Nice.
It's fantastic. Paige and I just laugh our asses off at it all the time.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So we get our introduction of Pennywise the Dancing Clown. Bill Skarsgård, man.
I know. I've never looked it up, but I wonder if he had any technological help with his voice. Like, did they do any distortion on his voice or anything? If they didn't, holy shit.
Right.
I mean, just the inflections that he uses and the gruffness in certain areas. It's lower in some points, it's higher in others. Just, man, if he did that all on his own, that's wicked impressive.
I want to say that he probably did, and that maybe that's just me just wanting him to have done it.
Yeah.
I do know the eye thing that he does in the movie is he can actually do that with his eye.
Okay.
Like kind of move it. Oh, there's a cat. There's a cat. We have to mark each cat in the movie. There is a little kitty.
Mm-hmm. And that's another quick scene, important part of the story where
I agree. Great performance by the cat.
Yeah, totally.
Sorry, go ahead.
But no, the adult kind of passively, or just sort of the unknowing adult, mm-hmm. or it's an aspect of the story where the adults in the town of Derry don't just kind of turn a blind eye, or it's like they subconsciously don't want the evil that is Pennywise to be there, and so they sort of ignore it in a way. Mm-hmm. And it's explained way better in the book. Yeah. Stephen King's better with words than me. I don't know if you knew that. So, but it's a part of the story that it's another thing that I'm glad they kept in the movie, because it's one of the eerier and scarier parts of the movie, or of the story. Just the fact that
no adults are...
There's no one there to help.
Yeah.
You know, there's no one these kids can go to.
Absolutely. And that's one of the things that, like, a lot of movies kind of trip up with is, like, the question of, like, okay, well, why don't they just tell an adult or whatever? It's like, this is a magical entity that is, you know, that the adults essentially can't see. Like, later when we get the blood stuff, it's like only they can see it. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I love this scene with Pennywise and Georgie. Like, Bill Skarsgård's whole demeanor and everything, the tone of his voice and everything is just terrifying. And here, when the freaking another cat, the same cat, it is a witness to the murder. But when his teeth come out and like they show the arm coming off is like brutal, and all the blood in the rain, just such an amazing sequence.
So well shot.
Yes. And the cat's meowing.
Mm-hmm. A dog would have done something about it. I mean, I don't saying
know about that.
Hashtag just saying.
Well, I don't know.
Just a bunch of blood in the street. Let's turn around and go back inside. It's raining.
Right. Yeah. I love this kind of like zoom in and twisting of the camera through the sewer.
A lot of great camera work in this movie.
Amazing.
Really well done.
Oh, yeah. And I love at the end, and we'll talk about it when we get to it, obviously, but I love at the end when it's just like chapter 1. And it, like we knew that there was going to be another one and everything because they need to do the adult side, but it's just like, I love that. Like, it felt just great.
Mm-hmm. I mean, this is going to be by the way, if you hadn't figured it out, the majority of this commentary is going to be us gushing over the movie.
Yeah, exactly.
We can't help it. I mean, it's really, really great movie.
Right.
I just don't know. There's not much we can do about it.
Yep. Exactly.
So get used to it.
Yep. Yeah. And the shots of Derry and everything is great.
Yeah.
So how do you feel about the way Mike was written in the movie? Because it's considerably different from the book. Because in the book, his parents, I think his parents are alive. Maybe I don't remember.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
But the fire at the black spot is like in Derry's history and everything, and he is just like, you know, a victim of, you know, racist encounters with Henry Bowers and his gang and everything. Mm-hmm. They kind of went a little light on that.
They did, but I think it was I'm okay with that choice because in the book, that was happening in the 1950s.
True.
True. I'm not trying to say we solved racism.
Right.
But it wasn't as big of a problem in 1988. It wasn't as systemic in 1988 as it was in 1955 or 1958. Yeah. So I think that choice makes sense. But having said that, I think Mike was probably the least well developed of the Losers Club.
Yeah.
Because I feel like he's developed really well in the book, obviously. Right. And he has a lot more story, a lot more bulk in the book, and a lot of it was not in the movie. Not to say it was not done well, or, you know, I don't think it was bad. Right. But it's noticeably different.
Yeah. And also, so we have the Losers Club here now. We've got Richie, Bill, Stan, and Eddie, and they just passed by Henry Bowers and his gang, and Patrick Hochstetter's there, played by Owen Teague in the movie. And he's not developed in the movie the way he is in the book. In the book, he's very chilling and creepy. Did you feel like that was like not handled well, or did they not have time for it? Did they need to have it?
I think it was, I was fine with it because, there's only so much you can squeeze into, a 2-hour movie.
Mm-hmm.
And this is eventually probably going to be, with the second chapter, is probably going to be more like 4.5 hours, I would say, if
they've
not
announced
more.
the runtime of chapter 2. It's like 3 hours.
Is it? Geez. So we're looking at over 5 hours total. The book is over 1,000 pages.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, you have to cut somewhere.
There are sacrifices to be made.
Right.
Yeah.
And so I'm fine with it.
Mm-hmm. One thing that I kind of, when we get to where we just passed the scene where the girls, pour the trash, with the water in the bathroom on Bev in the stall, like, I kind of was thinking about that, like, yeah, it's gross and everything, but it's also, it's a bath, like, it's just paper towels probably.
Yeah.
And maybe soap, but.
Yeah, who knows?
Yeah. Yeah, and we saw the shot of them throwing their book bags or their books and everything away. That was just
pretty classic.
Such a nice, like, end of school year kind of thing.
Did you do that when you were a kid? Like, you celebrate school's out? Like,
not really, I don't think.
I did.
I was excited about it, obviously.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
I feel like it's a very kid thing, a very, like fifth grader thing to do, or whatever.
Yeah. I agree.
Which they're all 12 in the book, right?
Yeah, in the book they're like 11 or 12, I think. Yeah. So we get our introduction to to Henry Bowers and Belle Chuggins, and Owen Teague plays Patrick Hockstetter.
Mm-hmm.
I thought this was interesting, where Henry's like, you got a free pass because you're a brother, but now you're dead or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that was kind of interesting. Like, it's a weird kind of thing. Like, oh, the bully cut him a break because his brother's missing.
Yeah. That's nice of him.
It is nice of him. But of course he like spits in his face or something now.
Yeah.
Oh no, he licks his hand and rubs it. Yes, gross.
Yeah.
Yep. So I like that Belle Chuggins is one of his cohorts and everything, and just like our introduction to him is him burping in, I think, Richie's ear or something.
Yeah.
And like they don't reference his name or anything. His name's Belle Chuggins because of that, but I don't know, I kinda like that.
Right.
So Ben and Bev, this scene is so charming.
So cute.
It is.
Ben is such a cute little kid.
He is.
I can't think of the actor's name.
I don't know offhand. But, yeah, it's so, like, genuine, like, nerves and everything.
Yeah. When I watched this, Paige and I watched this on, I think we rented it or something. Or no, okay. I got the Blu-ray and we watched it.
Oh, okay. Nice.
And every time, she sees, his name's Jeremy Ray Taylor, the actor who plays Ben Hanscom. Okay. Every time he says anything, she's just like, oh, he's just so cute. And I'm just like, shut up. But he's an adorable little kid.
Shut up, I'm trying to watch the movie.
Yeah. Trying to watch these kids get murdered.
Right. Yeah, but this is just a very cute scene.
Mm-hmm. But speaking of, Beverly, Sophia Lillis, the actress.
Yes.
Her performance, this is a random pull.
Mm-hmm.
Her performance in this, but fucking blew me away. I think
absolutely.
I think she was the standout.
Right.
Which is saying something with how great these kids were.
Yeah.
Her performance in this reminds me a lot of, Elle Fanning in Super 8.
Yes.
Because I remember watching her and I was like, Jesus, this kid's like 12. She's like Meryl Streep in it right now. Yeah. Like, she's just crushing this.
Oh yeah.
I just remember being blown away. Mm-hmm. But yeah, that's what it made me think of.
Yeah.
Which is a movie, that's a movie that I need to see again. Super 8. I think I saw it in the theater and didn't see it again.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
I've seen it a few it's amazing. It's basically,
E.T.
Yeah, it's basically J.J. Abrams like, oh, I'm gonna do a riff on E.T.
Right.
And then like later on he's like, I'm gonna do a riff on A New Hope.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah. And like this, we get like just little book things with like his bike being silver.
Yeah.
And we don't get like any, like it's not a plot point or anything. It's just something for the book fans, I think.
Right.
Now when we were in the theater and we saw this, I was so excited because I thought for the briefest moment, I thought that his dad was played, like right here, I thought that he was played by Steven Weber.
Looks a lot like him.
He does. And I was like, that would have been so cool because Steven Weber did the audiobook. But it's not him, so.
Yeah. Bummer.
Yeah. This little maze thing or whatever that he did is, it's kind of clever and kind of weird.
But in the context, it's like kind of cruel.
It is.
Like his dad sitting here watching this.
Yeah.
Or out of context, I guess it's a little cruel.
Right. But he's showing like, I don't know, it's clever. Like it shows how clever Bill is.
Mm-hmm.
It's a good way to kind of expedite the kind of whole idea of Georgie being gone and how it affects Bill.
Yeah.
And like here where his dad has the outburst, like in the book, there's a big part about how his parents are having trouble after it's severely tarnished their marriage and everything. And like, I like that we have this scene where his dad is having the like outbursts and everything.
Mm-hmm.
Cause it just shows like in the most economic way possible that, the whole family's hurting.
Right.
Even the little hamster guy, because he doesn't have his maze.
I think it also,
tubes.
It sort of drives home the idea of how detached the parents are as well.
Yes.
Because if you think about...
this shot of Derry is like...
It's like an idyllic.
It is the most
idyllic
Stephen
establishing.
King
yeah.
Derry. It's beautiful.
It's
like I want to live
yeah.
here.
Yeah.
But yeah, anyway, sorry.
It's like a great little town.
Yep.
But I think, in addition to the actual, what's the word I'm looking for? The supernatural effect of the parents not being able to, understand what's going on. There's this massive, like this collective psychological aspect to the fact that kids die in this town.
Yeah.
And so the parents and the adults are just, they don't have time or they don't have the psychological capacity to think about what the cause of it is. They're just thinking, the kids we have a strange knack in this town for kids just disappearing or like, it's not like there's a murderer in town. It's just like these kids there's a lot of accidents or something.
Exactly.
And they're checked out. They're psychologically checked out. So there's there's like more of a scientific reason for it too. And I think it was exemplified pretty well in that garage scene there. Totally.
And it's interesting because obviously you have to make changes from the book and everything to just cut it down to that. Like in the book, there's a lot of backstory about like, the Corcoran kid who like his dad like beat him and like his brother was like taken by Pennywise or I don't remember the specifics, but like there's a whole thing with like a trial and everything for the father or stepfather or something. And it eats up a big part of the book, but it's very important, like context and everything for the town of Derry. But I like this whole kind of like blind eye kind of thing that the adults have.
Mm-hmm.
So here we'll get to the whole like burnt people in there. Also, I like the prop of the meat that he's delivering. Just like I've always liked the idea of like meat wrapped in paper like that. I don't know, it's just quaint.
Mm-hmm.
But we saw Henry scream like "Get out of my town" or something like that. Like that's the closest we get to like racism.
Right.
Yeah. In the pages of the novel, there would be a lot more N-words.
A lot more. Yeah.
Yeah. So I kind of feel like they kind of invented more backstory for Stan because in the book he's not planning for his bar mitzvah or anything, and the whole painting thing is completely different from the book.
Right.
How do you feel about this actor playing Stan and the arc that he goes through?
I think again, you have to make sacrifices and edit for a movie adaptation.
Yeah.
And so this was sufficient. I'll put it that way.
Sure.
And when the painting is, personified or whatever, it's scary and weird and crazy. The actor played by Wyatt Olaf.
Okay.
I don't want to say he's the weak link, but I feel like the character of Stan, if you read the book, is more of a limited character,
right?
Anyways,
and let's not spoil anything.
I'm not trying to spoil anything. I was trying to tiptoe around it.
Yeah. Did me saying not spoiling it spoil something?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I think you're too spoiler aware sometimes.
I think so too. Yeah.
But
spoiler, I am afraid of spoil. Anyway, sorry. Go ahead.
So yeah, I think it's fine. Like I said, there's limitations to everything, and
That's a cool
not to say that Wyatt Oleff is a crappy actor. I'm not saying that.
It's just when you have an ensemble like this, there's bound to be someone who's maybe not given as much of an opportunity as the other actors, I would say.
Yeah, something like that. It's
yeah.
like, yeah, this is scary as shit right here.
Yeah.
The hands. Yeah, like it's effective. Mm-hmm. It's just not in the book, and it's different.
Yep. Did you ever see Andy Muschietti's other movie? That is creepy. The shot of the woman.
Yeah.
Oh, that's creepy. His other movie, I think it's called Mama.
No, I never saw that one.
Apparently, like, the design of her, the painting lady, was, like, very, very, like, similar to the evil entity in his other movie.
Okay.
So it's an interesting kind of homage.
Gotcha.
I love the dialogue between the kids. Like, Richie Tozier is amazing. Finn Wolfhard. Like, it's such a different character from Mike in Stranger Things.
Yeah.
But he does it so well. It's so great.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I think like I said, I think the standout was Sophia Lillis as Beverly Marsh, but a very close second was Jack Dylan Grazer as Eddie Kasprak.
As Eddie Kasprak,
for me.
yes.
He was just hilarious.
Oh,
and
he's amazing.
I think the character in the movie is almost better than the character in the book.
I would agree with you.
That's how good he was.
Absolutely.
So, and like, there's a funny story, where maybe it'd be better to hang on to it, but it's an interaction between,
the gazebos? No,
there's an interaction between, Jack Dylan Grazer and Bill Denbrough that it's an anecdote or not Bill Denbrough, Bill Skarsgård.
Oh, yeah.
An interaction while they were acting that, Bill Skarsgård shared on a talk show.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty funny. So I'll come back to that later when it pops up in the movie. Mm. So,
I couldn't remember when I saw the movie if Ben's poem is verbatim from the book, and it is.
That's what I thought. Yeah.
It's very cute. That's such a cute, like. Oh, he does say hi, O Silver. Anyway, but it's not a big plot point. But anyway, that's such a cute, like, kid thing to do.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Also, all the adults, like Eddie's mother, this librarian. They all seem like very, for lack of a better word, very heavily done. Like the makeup and like oftentimes they're like wearing glasses. I kind of feel like that's intentional, like showing that it's like kind of a further dividing them in a way.
Yeah. It's almost like a caricature.
Kind of, yeah.
Almost, yeah. I think you're right. And even like Beverly's dad, Mr. Marsh, is, just like super sweaty, and he's like kind of wearing the standard like wife beater shirt and stuff like that. He's very greasy.
Yep.
But yeah, it is sort of like, that's a good way, or that's something I noticed too, that the adults are very like extra.
Yeah.
And very done up, if you will.
Mm-hmm. It's a very sharp contrast to like the kids who.
Right. When you were watching this, did you notice the old lady in the background of this scene?
I don't think so. The one that was sitting down?
No, like the old lady that lady in the background who's standing there looking at him.
Oh, I don't think I did, because I think I just assumed that it was the, librarian.
Oh, no, I don't think it is. But there's like people.
No, because the librarian's back there, I think.
Right. And people are saying that like she was
Pennywise
watching and manipulating the picture in the book.
That's
and then
cool.
He floats away as a,
I never noticed that.
Right.
I did kind of see, cause
but there she is again, so I don't know, but she's clearly eerily watching him.
Yeah.
While he's looking in that book.
That is so creepy.
Yeah.
One thing I thought was interesting, and especially I don't think this is a spoiler for chapter 2 because it's in the trailer from what I heard, because I don't watch the trailer. I thought it was interesting that Ben's arc involved him being like studying dairy and like being at the library. Like it fits well with his character and everything, but I feel like maybe it's at the expense of Mike's character development, because in the book and in chapter 2, he's going to be the one that's, stayed behind and has studied dairy.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just an interesting choice to have Ben be the one who kind of knows about the town's history and stuff, but then have Mike be the one that stays behind, for lack of a better term.
Well, when they're kids, is there someone who finds that information? Because that's brought up when they're kids. Like, they understand that as a kid, that there's this entity that comes around every 29 years.
They do, 27.
27 years, whatever.
They do, but I don't remember, I don't remember the specifics.
Like how they come to that information.
Yeah. It's not as clear cut as, like, Ben, like, investigating and everything.
Right.
I think it kind of comes in pieces, like, they learn about it.
Okay.
But I don't know.
But my point is, in the movie, they have to come to that information somehow.
Yeah.
And so,
yeah.
Ben is a good vehicle for that.
He is. I'm just saying that it's interesting that Ben's the vehicle and not Mike, given what we know about adult Mike in the story.
Right, right.
This is an interesting sequence. Like, it's creepy, and it's a lot of, it's just very creepy and everything, because it's another, like, dark room that is, like, so tailor-made for kid fears.
Yes. Very much.
Yeah. It reminds me of, like, when we worked together at night as security guards. Like, I was afraid of the building, and I was in my early 20s.
Right.
Yeah. So anyway.
The dark will always have a aspect of terror to it. I don't care how old you are or how much of a badass you think you are.
Yes. Yeah. I'm glad that they left this in the story. Like, having Henry carve into Ben.
Right. They didn't, like, pull a lot of punches when it comes to because, like, there's some just starkly violent and disturbing things about how essentially fucked up the bullies are.
Yeah. And just demented and...
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's like later, this is another really cool scene. This is in the trailer where the car passes by and the adults, like, actually look, but they don't react, and you see the balloon. Like, that's such a nice touch. It's like the entity of Pennywise has just taken over and has created this scenario where the adults just aren't capable of helping or being aware of what's going on.
Right. Right.
Yeah. Gotta love that R rating.
Yes.
With the H. That is so painful looking.
Something that really hindered the miniseries.
Oh, yeah, totally.
From the 90s.
Yeah. We watched that like 2 years ago, and I don't remember much of it.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I remember liking it more than I had the first time I watched it. Mm-hmm. Because I had read the book.
Yeah.
In between the two times I'd seen it. And I liked, what I liked about it is how loyal so many parts of it were to the book.
Yeah.
I think the characters were actually really well done, developed well in that miniseries, but it's just campy as hell.
Yeah, totally.
Very campy.
Do we do a commentary track for that?
Yeah, I would, seriously.
Oh, shit.
I really would.
Okay, cool. Well, maybe. Don't hold us to that, guys.
Well, it'd be fun to talk about the differences.
Yeah, it would be.
Stuff like that.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
Yeah. Speaking of which, this is a terrible time to bring it up on the commentary. Where are you at with the Shining miniseries?
Still just watched the first episode.
Okay.
I was a little dejected after watching it because I was like, man, I'm really not into this.
I just haven't gotten around to watching it really.
Yeah. Maybe
we can kind of plan on doing that in like 2 weeks.
Yeah, I need to hunker down and watch it.
Same here.
Yeah.
So I like how kind of truthful this is. Like first of all, seeing the Barrens like this is just so, like, the geography of it's just beautiful. Like, it's amazing.
Yeah, good set choice or location choice.
Yeah, like in the book, I kept imagining more of like a concrete like wall around it for some reason. But yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, it's much more like it has like a more natural feel in the movie.
Yeah. Yeah. Would you go in the sewers like that?
Fuck no.
Okay. It's
Hell
funny.
No.
When I was a kid, when I was probably like their age, I lived in Ohio, and there was, I love the inclusion of gray water, by the way. And having just reread the book, they excise the police officer that stops them, because the police officer is like, cause they build a dam in the book, and the dam, like, backs up a lot of water that eventually, like, goes to down certain things or whatever. And there's an Irish police officer that comes by and yells at them and explains that, like, it's backing up everything, and there's shit and everything, and it's gray water. So that's all excised for sake of time and everything, but I like how how it's still kind of brought up by, Eddie. But anyway, when I was a kid, there was a little playground and swimming pool in our apartment complex area, and there was this wooded area behind like the swing sets. And I remember that there was like a little like pipe, like a kind of not as big as that, but like a big enough for a child to crawl through. And like on the other side of the wooded area was a golf course. Like I remember like one time I actually walked or crawled or kind of kneeled through like the pipe and got to the end, and there was like this like walled area. There was like a gross frog and everything, and it was like mossy and gross. Yeah, it was disgusting.
That's gross.
Yep. So shout out to Huntington Hills in Stowe, Ohio. Yeah.
Yeah, these kids are way braver than I ever would be.
Yeah.
Going into a damn sewer.
Yeah. Ugh. And I think now that we're like adults and everything, it's like we're more aware of like germs and disease.
Definitely.
Yeah.
And, like there's a lot of stuff that like I do around my house, like carpentry and fixing our house and stuff like that. I have not done any plumbing whatsoever.
Oh, really?
That's one thing I will pay a plumber.
Yep.
Come out to the house and you can do it.
Yep.
That's money I will spend. Cause no thank you.
Yeah. Yeah, I could, it's funny cause like we're watching Lost with Kirsten on Obsessive Viewer. Just like the idea of like drinking from a spring. Like I like that in theory, but I would feel weird.
Right.
I don't know.
Right. First world problem.
Yep, seriously. I say when I have tons of gallons of water that I bought.
Yeah.
But yeah. Oh, I forgot that, Patrick Hockstetter bites it so early. Yeah, that's one thing I kind of regret about this is that like the moment in the book where Patrick Hockstetter is, killed, there's so much more to it, because he is introduced as a just demented, like, sociopath of a kid that kills flies and animals, and he has, like, in the woods, he has this refrigerator that has a bunch of dead animals that he's killed.
Right.
And it's such a cool, like, moment because, like, Pennywise, like, embodies the fridge or whatever, and I think, like, pulls him into it and locks it and kills him that way. I want to say Bev finds it and there's blood coming out of it or something. Like, this is an interesting alternative. Like, it's fine, but I like the way it's handled in the book much, much better. Even though, again, this does include, kind of also does the whole, darkness kind of thing.
Yeah, definitely.
And not that it's bad, but it kind of feels at this point like it's a little, not repetitive, but almost repetitive. Because we've just had dark areas. And maybe that's because it was kind of a lower budget kind of movie.
Yeah.
But I think the kind of trade-off, like that shot of the kids, was super creepy and effective. And they presumably wouldn't have been able to do that if they had a big, like, lit set like that.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, and I just love how creepy Pennywise is.
Oh, yeah. They hit that out of the park.
They really did.
Yeah.
So that shot of Derry, again, is just beautiful. Like, it is gorgeous. I love it so much.
Mm-hmm.
This whole excursion to get medicine for Ben and first aid supplies is so great.
Yes.
And
it's nice that, like, it's the meetup between the original members of the Losers Club meeting Ben, and then Beverly also kind of shows up.
Yes.
It's sort of at the same time.
Oh yeah. It's another great, like, kind of economic way to bring things together because
right.
There's a lot, obviously, in a 1,000-page book that has a lot of build-up and everything. Like, there's a whole thing with, Bev and, Richie and I think either Eddie or Ben where they are sort of on a date to see a movie.
Okay.
Yeah. God, I love that book so much.
Yeah, the book was amazing. I can't believe I waited so long to read it.
Me too. It always had that stigma that it was like, it's a mammoth of a book, but it's also like supposed to be King's best, and it's like, ugh, if I see that, or if I read this, and then you gotta know where to go but down.
Yeah.
To kind of quote Michael Scott a little bit. But yeah, this scene coming up with, right here with Mr. Keene, the pharmacist, is so unsettling.
It is. So creepy.
Yeah. Ugh. And it's like he's another character who has like glasses and, yeah. Oh, this is so cringy. When he's like, you look just like Lois Lane.
Ugh.
That is so, dude. Yeah. But it's really clever how she is distracting him.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oof.
Like,
Yeah.
how can you be that creepy?
Yeah, and it's so... I kind of commend the movie for the way that it handles Bev's, like, implied or overtly referenced sexual assault kind of thing. Like, she's viewed in a certain way, and, like, when, like, it's heavily hinted at her father, like, abusing her, like, the super creepy ways, like, you're still my little girl, aren't you?
Right.
Just like, ugh.
I mean, but I think it's, I don't know, I think it's just, like, kind of verbal abuse. I don't
You think so?
I don't know that he physically, like, did anything to her.
Okay.
Yeah.
You know, it could be either way for me, I think.
Really, yeah.
Maybe I'm just putting more disturbing things into it than what's there.
Mm-hmm.
'Cause honestly, I don't remember in the book if he physically abuses her or not, but I remember like her mom asking her if her father's ever touched her and her being confused and saying like, what do you mean? Like what does that mean?
Yeah, that's right.
But yeah.
Well, and plus the way she, for lack of a better word, kind of turns it on right there while she's sort of flirting with the pharmacist.
You're basically saying she's asking for it.
No, I'm saying the way that she's able to just do that at the drop of a hat is sort of, you know, bit of an implication that maybe she has a little bit of experience, you know, which is very disturbing.
Yeah, because she has that reputation.
Right.
That's all just rumors and everything, but
right.
Yeah, I mean, who's to say that there's not like some...
And they're doing it right now. Bill had her back in 3rd grade. Yeah.
Guys objectifying a girl.
Yeah, starts so young.
Jeez. We've never objectified women, right?
No. I don't even know what that means.
It's when... So, Bev's at home now.
Yeah.
And her dad is so creepy and... like, you just have the sense that he has this violence in him, even without the influence of Pennywise and everything.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And I'll go ahead and say it. I've said it before, I'm sure, but I do sometimes say to my cat, occasionally, I say, you're still my little girl, aren't you?
Oh my God.
And she looks at me because she's a cat. And, yeah. It's interesting. Like, it's common in media and everything to be,
Ooh, okay, yeah.
Yeah,
I wasn't
her
remembering all this. Yeah. This is pretty implicit, I think.
Yeah. And like stroking her ponytail or her hair. It's just, ugh. Yeah. It's just, ugh. But what I was gonna say is that, it's common, like, you know, having this weird, like, oh, fathers not knowing how to deal with their children, like, when they have, like, their period.
Yeah.
And, I don't know. I don't intend to be a father. I don't think I'm a father. But, but I'm like, I feel like I'd handle that okay. Like, it would be a situation where it's like, okay, hey, I know that this happens, you know.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, when you're a kid, it's just terrifying.
Yeah.
But I think as an adult, I'm like, yeah, I mean...
Yeah. Like the idea of talking to your kid about it would be like, I don't think it's as big of a thing as or as big of a disconnect, I guess. I don't know, but
yeah. Who knows? Maybe we'll feel different, or I'll feel differently when I have kids.
Right.
Yeah.
Do you want a boy or a girl?
I want both.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. So this scene coming up where they're at the quarry, first of all, I love this, that they're kind of daring each other to jump in. They're spinning off. It's just boy stuff.
Oh, total boys. Yeah.
Yeah. And I love, like this sequence of them just being kids and playing in the quarry, and just like the music that plays is like this literally makes the movie for me.
Yeah.
'Cause it is so evocative of that era of life where you're a kid and you're just having fun, and a bunch of the people that you know have been murdered by a scary supernatural clown.
Yeah, all the classic tropes you go through as a kid.
Yeah. Yep. But we're watching it with the sound off, but like just pay attention to the score when you're watching this, cuz it is beautiful. Like the score here, and then the music that plays at the end when they make the blood pact is so just beautiful. I might actually turn it up a little bit for us.
Okay.
Like that melody is just so, I don't know, beautiful.
It is, yeah. Yeah, I don't know what the word is.
Yeah. I want it as an alarm to wake up. No, but it's so like moody, and it's so weirdly nostalgic and very coming of agey.
It's like innocent.
In innocence, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And I love that we have a reference to a turtle here coming up. Yeah, right here. Oh fuck, what was that? Someone touched my leg right here. And it's a turtle. And it's like, that's an interesting way, because I have a feeling that they are hopefully going to stay pretty true to the book for part 2. And I hope they go all out.
Yeah,
maybe not
too.
all out, but like, I hope that they go for it. And I love this where they're just staring at Beth.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so great.
And then they get caught and they try to play it off. Just
Yep.
classic. Yeah.
Yeah.
Again, just total boys.
Oh, yeah. Oh, it's so great.
Oh my god.
Oh, God. Yeah, and then they discover all the dairy stuff and everything.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I forgot that he found the postcard and almost found it. Yeah, I've always been very attracted to the idea of like researching like a town or something.
Yeah.
Like it's such an interest, like that shot of like the copies of the newspaper clippings is like really like, it's like my jam.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah. Yeah. And I wonder if we're gonna I doubt we will, but like they just referenced the black spot that burned down.
Yeah.
I kind of wonder, I feel like in, well, maybe I'm remembering something from the book, but like at some point in the book, there's a flashback to, it may not be the black spot now that I think about it, but it is like a fire, maybe the black spot. Anyway, Dick Halloran is there.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
Right.
I kind of wonder, it would be kind of cool if they did like a flashback thing
That would be cool.
for chapter 2, but I doubt it because it's more just, background information.
It's like an Easter egg in the book.
Yeah.
And so you'd have like a double Easter egg if you put it in the movie.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. And just like the shots of them just riding their bikes and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's very nostalgic.
It is.
Mm-hmm.
Like I miss that.
Yeep.
Yeah. I mean, I guess I could still have it, but. Did you ever ride your bike around and just try to get lost?
Not try to get lost, but I rode my bike
Okay.
fucking everywhere.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
Like to the library, you nerd.
I did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Me too. Yeah. My sister used to try to steal magazines from the library.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's random.
Yeah. Not cool. Not
yeah,
cool.
not so much.
But yeah, I love this these interactions, okay, here where Bev finds the New Kids on the Block poster on the side of the door, like, I feel like that was like, okay, we get it. Like, New Kids on the Block, like, we get it. This is a little bit overkill on the joke, but I think it kind of hinges on the performances of the two actors that it's really, charming still.
Oh yeah, it still works so well.
Yeah. And, I don't know, we may have missed it, but when someone says that it's a beaver trap and,
still is, right? Am I right, boys, or whatever? Yeah.
Right, boys, and then he does a high five, but he doesn't get hit and he's left hanging.
Classic.
So great. Motormouth Richie Tozier.
Beep, beep, Richie.
Yes. See, like, I think, like, having the close-ups with the music backing it was, like, it's a little bit much. But I don't know.
I liked it.
Okay, that's fair. And we're kind of getting exposition about how it's all kind of converging on, like, the well house, I think, or something about the house on Nebal. I don't remember the specifics, but I think it's fine, even though I just stumbled through it.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, the house on Nebold Street.
Mm-hmm.
So I like this idea where like the kind of archetype of like a haunted house and everything, like the Dutch Hill in the Wastelands, and the Overlook in Shining.
There's just something about a haunted house that just it'll never lose its luster, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, look at how successful the Haunting of Hill House was that came out on Netflix. Now, granted, that was done immaculately.
Right.
Did we ever talk about that on any of the podcasts? I don't think we did.
I mean, I've just been super busy watching 13 Reasons Why. I literally I haven't watched it.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, I need to.
Okay. Because it was like one of my favorite things of the year. Like, it was just phenomenal.
I guess it's going to come out on DVD and Blu-ray with like an extended director's cut, I think.
Nice. So I mean, like, it's not a classic, like haunted house story, but it's still in that vein. Yeah. And has those elements to it. Yeah. The effects of this guy, the leper. Leper. Yeah. Is so creepy. It's disgusting. Disgusting, yeah. Is this where we had, like, where he did Bill Skarsgård had the... It's in the house. Oh, okay. And it's a scene later on in the house. Oh, I thought it was this scene where he has the balloons and stuff. I don't think so. No. Okay. That's fine. Super creepy. Yeah, then that's just iconic image and shot right there. Mm-hmm. That's... He's got such a huge forehead. Yes. It's like kind of like the makeup is all crackly and stuff. Mm-hmm. Yeah, just super creepy. And that's the thing that what he's doing with his eye, I think, right here, where the one eye is like a little farther off. Yeah. Like, he can do that with his real eyes. Yeah, I remember seeing that he was on some talk show or something. Yeah. And, super creepy. It's crazy. Yeah. Don't remember if they mentioned it, but the Frog Prince playbill that they just had on her nightstand, that's the play that she was in with Bill as a kid. Oh, okay. As a younger kid. Nice. And it's kind of cute that they have that here where it's, like she still has it and everything. Uh-huh. How do you feel about the depiction of the little triangle between, Bev and Ben and Bill? I mean, it's cute. Yeah. It's very, junior high. Yeah. But yeah, I feel like it's maybe, is it less prevalent in the book or is it? I really don't remember. It's maybe not as heavily like noted as in the movie. Mm-hmm. But I think it's there because they all kind of fall in love with Bev in their own That's ways. True, yeah. Yeah. Which leads to the moment that they very smartly did not include in the movie. The gangbang? Yes. Yeah. Which in the recent episode with
Kirsten on Obsessive Viewer, we talked about that.
Oh, yeah.
It was a weird situation where I was not defending it, but I was trying to explain it.
Mm-hmm.
But it's really hard to explain or try to justify a scene in which 6 11-year-old boys take turns having sex with an 11-year-old girl.
Yeah.
Yeah. This sequence was incredible. Just the way the hair shoots up from the drain and the blood is just amazing to me.
Yeah.
Well, I guess it's coming up, but yeah, it's just, it's great. Oh yeah, that's right. She gets the, measuring tape.
Yeah.
Like you mentioned, plumbing and stuff like this.
Yeah.
Would this freak you out?
Disgusting.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, especially old metal galvanized pipe like that. That's gross shit.
Yeah.
Modern PVC isn't as bad, but
yeah,
not to get all technical.
Sure. And I just like the kind of slow buildup of it.
Yeah.
Like, can we get like the shot of blood and then the hair? It's so, like, that right there is so gross.
Yeah.
Ugh. And it's interesting that this is, by my count, this is like the most like overtly like like she's potentially gonna die.
Right.
Here, it's interesting that they, Pennywise, did it. And I like it as escalation for the horror and everything. God, that is so well done.
Mm-hmm.
The blood is, God, it's amazing. And like, I love how real the blood looks. Like, it's not movie blood. It's blood.
It's not like Quentin Tarantino blood.
Right.
It's like Carrie blood.
Yes.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Ugh.
Kind of makes you want to drink it a little bit.
Ew, no.
No?
Not so much.
Jeez. And it's like, I don't know the technical term for it or anything, but it's like they filter the shot a little bit.
Yeah.
So it's like even more kind of red. And I think the effect is supposed to be it covering the light, maybe? I don't know.
Yeah.
But, God, just like that set is just so well done. Ugh. Still my little girl, aren't you? Yeah. Honestly, I think her hair looks great.
Yeah, it suits her.
Yeah.
And Jessica Chastain. It's great. Great casting for
totally.
Yeah.
I'm really excited to see how it do you think it's going to perform well, the movie chapter 2?
Like financially or
like financially and
I mean, financially, I think that's going to be a huge success. But critically and like quality wise, I have high hopes. I hope it's better than the miniseries.
Yeah,
and like how they chose to tackle that.
Mm-hmm.
I think they'll do a better job than that. I'll put it that way.
Okay.
I think if you haven't read the book, the ending is very trippy.
Yes.
I'll just say trippy.
Yes.
It's hard. I think it's almost impossible to adapt what happened in the book.
Mm-hmm.
But there could be a way somebody could figure that out. I don't know if they will.
Yeah.
But try to get as close to that as you can and stay away from the weirdness of the miniseries, what they did.
Yeah. By the way, very cool reference that we have the turtle there.
The turtle.
Lego turtle. But I agree. I've voiced my concerns. I don't know if I've said it on the podcast or not, but I'm kind of curious. I have a feeling that some of the success of this movie was kind of contingent on like the cultural impact of Stranger Things, which I hate to say that because Stranger Things borrowed a lot from Stephen King and it specifically.
Yeah.
So like, I like to just be like, I like to be that guy and be like, well, okay, it doesn't have a Stranger Things vibe. Stranger Things has an It vibe.
Yeah.
But I kind of worry that like coming back to them as adults for a second movie is going to, even though it makes sense like structurally, and narratively, I think that it won't be as well received because it doesn't have that. From what I understand, we're going to have flashbacks and stuff, but it's not, that is so creepy. But it's not going to have the same impact that it did 2 years ago when they were kids.
Yeah, it's not going to have the nostalgia and stuff like that.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep. But here we get another creepy moment where Bill finds Georgie and everything. This was prevalent in the trailers. And it's still so creepy. Like, this is where the kid who plays Georgie really, really brings it. Like, It is so impressive.
Definitely.
And just the idea of it, like again, it's a creepy, dark basement and, like, standing water and not knowing what your feet are, what's, like, right by your feet under the water.
Agreed.
Yeah, it's super creepy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and the basement's really eerie. It's like an unfinished basement.
Yeah.
Just, the brick walls and the concrete floor.
Yeah.
More of a cellar almost.
Mm-hmm. And the way the light is reflecting off of the water to kind of illuminate Georgie in the raincoat is like beautiful. Like it's so eerie.
Mm-hmm. So those nice little visual touches.
Yeah.
They really made this movie stand out.
Yeah. You'll float too. You'll float too. That is so awesome.
Yeah.
And seeing Pennywise emerge, just so great.
Jesus. Ugh.
So creepy.
Mm-hmm.
And like, I didn't really notice, until maybe we talked about it, but like he's using him as a puppet. Did you notice that?
Yeah.
Yeah. Just unsettling.
Crazy.
Yeah.
And it's funny to talk about. I think Tim Curry as Pennywise is the best part of that miniseries.
Yeah.
Really. And I think that's iconic. He's iconic. He that is an icon of horror.
Right.
Is Tim Curry as Pennywise.
Yeah.
And I thought that's something that was one of my biggest worries with this new adaptation is that they were not going to be able to top that or even match it. Like I thought, like it doesn't matter what they do. It's just not going to be Tim Curry.
And
that's what we all have in our minds. Is Tim Curry, And
as much as I hate to admit it, like I feel like there was a lot of conversation and I was kind of part of that. I had these reservations too that Bill Skarsgård's really young.
Yeah.
And I was kind of nervous about that, but man, he just blows it out of the park.
Yeah, and
knocks it out of the park.
I was going to say, I think he exceeded. I think he exceeded what Tim Curry did. Not to take away.
Right.
Well, I mean, like it's sort of like when back in 2008 when we were all comparing Heath Ledger's Joker to Jack Nicholson's Joker.
Right.
Like they're two different things.
They're vastly different.
We don't have to decide which one was better. Like we don't need to do that. Just, you could say they're both great, or even if you want to say you like one better than the other, that's fine.
Right.
I'm not trying to take anything away from either actor or either performance. But I think Bill Skarsgård as Pennywise, time is going to tell, but I think he will end up being just as iconic as
I 100%
as Tim Curry.
agree.
At least for our generation and previous generations, Tim Curry was that. I think for the millennial and whatever other further generations, I think Bill Skarsgård will be that. Absolutely.
And this scene that we're at now where they're cleaning the bathroom is another one of my favorite scenes. It is kind of solidifying their bond as the Losers Club. It's scored to The Cure's 6 Different Ways, which is a great song for it and everything. And it's just like this montage of them cleaning this bloody scene is just really, I don't know, there's something about the bonding aspect of it that's just so so great. Like, and it's so kind of sweet. Like, Ben is kind of going toward the room and everything, which, whatever. But also this scene coming up with Bev and Bill is just so, like, awkward cute. Which we'll see here in a second. But it's such an interesting way to, again, kind of economize the storylines. Like, having this triangle where, like, Ben is, like, looking in the bedroom, kind of admiring it, but not in a creepy way. And then, like, here he's watching Bill actually talk to Bev. And you kind of, just in body language, you just see him kind of feeling a little despondent about it, I guess.
Yeah, right.
And then we get this scene that's just so perfect. Like, Bill, Jaden, whatever his last name is, he's great, and he and Sophia, what's her name again?
Lillis?
Yeah. The two performers here in the scene are just so kind of magnetic in a very cute and chaste way, I guess. And I love the kind of beat that she takes before she mentions the poem, and she's putting herself out there, and she's finding out that he didn't write it. It's so just such a well constructed scene.
Yeah. And perfect for her character, because she's, it's throughout the book, she's the more mature of all of them. Yep. And, girls mature quicker than boys do.
Someday we'll get there.
Someday, yeah.
No, pizza, it's okay.
Hi, pizza.
I moved too quickly and pizza freaked out. I can't edit out talking to you because it's part of a commentary, pizza. Okay, so yeah, anyway, this is really cute where pizza's sidling up to us. No, where they're cleaning it and everything. I like Richie's kind of indignation over being the lookout. It's nice. And he references he's the trash mouth, and that's prevalent through the book. I like that. And just like the vulgarity that he has throughout the movie is so, like, it feels like it's a notch above what it should be for his age, but it's just very comedic because of that. Maybe I'm misremembering what it was like when I was in 7th, 8th grade, probably middle school.
11 years old, 6th grade.
Yeah. Well,
6th,
I think
7th?
in the movie they aged them up a little bit.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
But here's where they kind of come together and realize, oh, the clown is terrorizing them.
Right.
Yeah. And again, I kind of like how Richie's the one that's kind of left out, if I remember correctly. And yeah, there we go.
Yeah.
And yeah, Mike is not in the Losers Club yet.
Right.
Yeah.
I kind of forgot about that.
Yeah. Well, he's coming up here now.
Well, he is the last one to join the group in the book.
That's true.
Yeah.
That is true. But it seems like a lot of time has passed for it, in the movie.
I love how they all drop their bikes.
Stand just as a kickstand.
Yeah. It's classic.
Yeah. And they do reference that it's Bell Chuggin's car. So they do reference his name, but.
Yeah.
This is very cool imagery with Pennywise with the arm.
Yes.
Just so cool. And waving. Just, God.
Ugh.
This movie has a lot of really good, GIF moments.
Yes, definitely.
For the internet.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. God, and I really like the way that Henry Bowers is portrayed as, he's portrayed as dangerous throughout the whole movie.
Right.
It's so much more than just, being a bully.
He's edging up to being a serial killer.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I think that that's why I'm kind of okay with Patrick Hockstetter kind of getting a little shafted by it.
Yeah.
Because it kind of seems like they transformed some of that character into Henry a little bit from the book. But here we have the apocalyptic rock fight.
Yeah.
Which is a great moment from the book, and I think they did it justice here.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
This is the comeuppance moment.
Yeah.
And this is what solidifies the group.
Yep. Oh yeah. And what completes the group too, because that's where they get Mike.
Yes, right.
Yeah.
Right.
And I love that slow motion thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So great. Ugh. As a kid, did you ever play War?
I think so.
Okay. Yeah, me too.
Yeah, I don't know if I really remember it, but...
Yeah, I do, kind of. Yeah, simpler times. Were you ever in an apocalyptic rock fight?
I don't think so. No.
Okay.
I think I'd remember.
Okay. Yeah, that... It's really, like, dangerous.
It is. It's like when you think about it.
Yeah.
It's kind of messed up.
Yeah. Oh.
It's the problem with doing commentaries is sometimes you want to just stop and watch.
I know, right? Like this set where they're like walking where the train is passing by and everything, like that's where they come back after, at the end for their blood pact and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just want to see so many, I want to see more of Derry. Like I want to like live in Derry. Oh, Eddie Corcoran. Okay, from the book.
Yeah.
I forgot that they included that little thing there. And Betty Ripson also is referenced earlier.
Right.
Yeah, just like the town is just so, just well done. I wonder like where they filmed it.
Yeah, it's a good question. I don't
Probably in like Toronto or something.
Probably.
Yeah. Oh yeah, they're going back with the timeline and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like I would love, and I'm sad that they didn't do this because I had this idea like a year or so ago, I think. I would have loved if they made the Paul Bunyan statue.
Yeah, a little bit of an Easter egg.
Yeah. Looking forward to that in the next movie. But I would have loved if they would have done like promotional like little like short films that basically like depicted like the different like the Kitchener Iron Works and the Fire at the Black Spot and all the stuff that Ben just referenced, like little like individual things like to throw on the DVD or something. I thought that could have been a really cool like promotional thing, but they did not heed my advice.
Yeah, bit of a ball drop there.
Yeah, I really think that could have been cool.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. So the Well House was in Ontario, Canada. Okay, the town of Derry is depicted. It was filmed in Port Hope, Ontario, Canada.
Okay.
Yeah, but they did film some in Bangor, Maine, I believe, according to IMDb at least.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. Some in Chicago too. Interesting.
Huh.
Yeah. But even like here where we have like a decent amount of exposition and everything, like here we're playing catch up, like getting Mike involved in the group and getting his backstory. It's all kind of coming through, but like even just the imagery, like the Paul Bunyan statue behind him, the police kind of wandering around and like no one really noticing them is just really great.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a very subtle scene, definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it doesn't hinder the pacing at all, I don't think, because, I mean, I was kind of riveted by Mike's, kind of exposition dump here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And I like that Richie's afraid of clowns.
Yeah.
This was cool. This was really cool.
Yeah, this was one of the cooler parts of the whole movie.
Yeah. The garage scene with the projector is just so creepy.
Yeah, the special effect of Pennywise coming out of the screen.
Yes.
Good God, that's just really impressive.
Oh yeah, and I love that this is the first time we see Pennywise attack or be like against the Losers Club proper.
As a group, yeah.
As a group. And there's something about that makes it even more kind of creepy that he's okay with going after him. I guess in the movie it's called the Derry Ironworks, but in the book it's Kitchener Ironworks. But anyway.
Yeah.
But just like him going after all of them after we've seen him go one by one is just so just really creepy.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
And I love after this when they kind of freak out. I want to say it's maybe Eddie or Richie. I think it's Richie. They freak out because it's like it's summer. We're kids. This is summer. I felt that.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. And I gotta commend the actor playing Bill because, man, like him and also like Steven Weber in the audiobook and also what's his face in the miniseries, being able to do a stutter as an actor is like,
right.
I can't imagine how difficult that would be.
That's challenging.
Yeah, Jaden Martell is the actor playing Bill.
Yeah.
It's like a slow build.
Yeah.
Slow build, slow Georgied, slow Richie. God. Stupid. And the hair, that's so creepy. And it was very smart of them from a marketing standpoint to kind of release this part as part of the trailer when they were promoting it. Cause it's so scary. It's just legitimately scary.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
God.
But what's interesting is even though it is scary and everything, like I've talked about this before, especially with like movies like Hereditary. Like I'm not like frightened by movies the way that I was as a kid, but like for me, like a horror movie that's effective is like a horror movie that makes me fear a situation rather than like have like jump scares like that we just saw.
Yeah, Jesus.
And God, he's so massive.
Right.
That is so freaking scary. Ugh.
And that's something that, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
That's something that's so hard to like imagine Stephen King trying to write that.
Right.
Like
yeah.
it's, I'm not saying he couldn't make it as effective as that was watching it, because I'm not a writer like he is.
Right.
It's amazing what he can achieve with words, but, that just speaks to the medium of film,
Totally.
like just how effective it is.
Yeah.
Cause
it doesn't feel cheap or unearned because it is super like effective.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah. I was like, did you say summer one more fucking time? Just really great.
I noticed throughout the movie, Ben Hanscom's t-shirts are just kind of goofy. Like he has that one that was just like a space landscape, and earlier he's wearing one that's just a bald eagle.
Right.
I don't know if there was like some kind of a theme there or strategy.
That's interesting.
I don't know what it was.
Well,
he's just dork.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I remember when I was a kid, like my mom would always buy me just clothes and everything.
Right.
It was just like how the thing I'm wearing now is like basically just like like Kmart or Walmart. Just
right.
It's nondescript thing. Yeah. And then now that I'm adult, I have like 30 super cool graphic tees with different interests on it.
Yeah.
Including a couple of It shirts.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. I really like the way that they depict Bill as the leader of the Losers Club.
Like clearly the leader.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like in this scene is so great, and I love the kind of button that they put on it with, I think Stan or one of them said, we'll find out here in a second, where he's like, he didn't stutter once. Like, just, I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we missed it earlier, but when he's doing his little, word thing, where he's like, he thrusts his fists against the post and still insists he sees the ghosts. I love that as another nod to the book.
Right.
Yeah, Richie says he didn't stutter once.
Mm-hmm.
God, I wonder if I have enough time to re-listen to the book. No, I can't.
It's just so long.
It is, but man, it's so good.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, how do you feel about the depiction of the house on Newbolt Street?
When
they're inside it.
I feel when they're inside, it's amazing. I feel like the actual set, like the outside, is a little overdone. Maybe. It's
really?
A little Hollywood set-ish.
Sure, I can see that.
You know, but I mean, it's not bad. I'm not complaining about it.
When you were a kid, I guess when we were kids. Well, no, before we met each other, was there a house that was like spooky to you that you thought was haunted?
No, I didn't really have anything like that.
Huh.
No.
In high school, did you ever go to the house by the airport?
The Canby house?
Yeah, the Canby house.
Oh, yeah, I went out there, yeah.
Did you... Was I there when we went with, like, Hank?
I don't think... No, I went there a couple times, but I don't think so.
Okay. I think I went there once with our brothers and, like, their whole group and everything.
Okay.
I think your brother told me this story about how the owner, like, dug tunnels to the different outhouses to kill his family or something.
Yeah, who knows if it's true.
Yeah.
I'm sure it's not.
It was me. Yeah. But anyway, new podcast, Haunted Indianapolis.
Oh my god.
But yeah, I love that, like, each, like, thing that is going after the kid, like, each kid has a different kind of thing that terrifies them and everything. And I like that Richie's is both that he's scared of clowns, but also that he's afraid of being one of the lost kids.
Yeah.
And so his freak out when he sees the flyer is so well done. Mm-hmm. Finn Wolfhard performs it incredibly well. And it pays off the scene earlier where they're looking through the different, like, missing flyers and everything. It's just really well constructed. And I'm gonna go ahead and say it. This set is far and away much better than the set of the Dutch Hill Mansion in the Dark Tower movie.
Yeah, agreed. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Ugh. God, that's so unsettling. And even when they have, like, those jump scares, like, Betty rips him being ripped away through the doorway, like, it's effective, but it's, like, it's not like that's all that it is for the scares in this movie. Like, here, like, it's just, like, we know what scares Eddie, and we know that he's had a run-in with a leper, and just, like, having the sound of, like, the leper talking to him is, like, enough to elicit a fear response. And it's just really well done. I really, really dig it.
Right, like, that would work on a kid.
Yeah,
on an
absolutely.
11-year-old.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's definitely some kind of quasi-tropish haunted house stuff in this.
Yeah. And again, another dark sequence.
It's hard to avoid it. Or like, there's not much you can do to not.
Yeah.
Ugh.
But it's so creepy. Ugh. I love the design of the leper.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So eerie.
Yeah, and man, I forgot about the arm thing.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. It messes with me.
Mm-hmm.
And so here in the room with the different clowns and stuff, I don't know if you've seen it, and it's kind of a blink and you'll miss it thing, but somewhere in it, oh, that's right, he found Eddie Corcoran. Somewhere in it is a mask of, Tim Curry's Pennywise.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Okay. I'll try to point it out, but I think it's a blink and you'll miss it kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, and just like the door closing thing, like that's, like you said, it's kind of a trope of like a haunted house thing.
Right.
But it's effective for me. God, just so creepy.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm trying to find the Tim Curry one. Cause it's not like straightforward. Clowns are creepy.
They are.
Yeah.
I've never been particularly scared of them.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, they've kind of become stigmatized, really.
Yeah. Like the idea of them is just super.
Yeah.
Just creepy.
And I wonder if they had to, like, make all these for the movie.
I was wondering that, too.
Like, did they go find these fucking things? Like, are these real?
It was probably a mix of that.
Yeah.
Was that him on the left, the Tim Curry one, or am I misremembering?
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. Somewhere in here, there's a Tim Curry Pennywise.
Okay.
And I love the coffin and found. It's just really cool.
Mm-hmm.
And I love when Pennywise jumps up and he says, beep, beep, Richie. Like, I love that as another kind of nod to the book.
Right.
Even though in this context it doesn't really make any fucking sense. But
yeah.
I forgot that it's a doll, and with the maggots and everything, that's so gross.
Yeah, it's creepy.
God, that's so great. And I think it's kind of funny. He does like a football stance.
Yeah.
It's like, okay. This always kind of made me laugh in a grotesque kind of way. Because, like, it's effective. And I always thought, I didn't know, I guess that's supposed to be Eddie Corcoran, one of the missing kids.
Uh-huh.
But I thought, like, he looks so much like Eddie Kaspbrak.
He does.
That I was so confused there for a moment. But, like, this is gross and disgusting and everything, but I like that it's essentially like, the floor is lava. That freaks me out.
Oh, yes.
The bent arm from the broken arm, just, ugh.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And I never noticed this in all my repeat viewings and stuff, but I just know, like, he comes out of a fridge.
Oh, yeah.
And, like, that alone is cool. Like, the design of it's cool, the way that he comes out and is all out of whack and everything is cool, but, like, I never connected that it's probably a reference to Patrick Hockstetter in the book.
Yeah.
God, that's so cool. God, it is so amazing how much Bill Skarsgård does, like, does such a great job. I love that the doors, I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Not scary at all. Scary, very scary. God, that is so creepy.
Yeah, he could have been over the top.
He could have been.
I don't know how he did it, frankly.
Yeah. Like him, like, kind of walking, toward it, like, kind of dancing toward him is like, that could be so creepy and stuff.
Yeah.
Which door would you have picked?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I really don't know.
Yeah. Oh, God, that's so creepy.
Ugh.
Ugh. I probably would have went with scary, because I would have thought, like, okay, there's no way that not scary at all is really not scary at all. But also I would have recognized that, you know, probably all of them are terrible.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But this is the scene between Pennywise and Eddie that,
that you were referencing, that he referenced in the thing?
Yeah, so, like, I mean, obviously this is a very disturbing scene where it's very physical and, like, he basically attacks him.
Yeah.
And, you know, Jack Grazer, the kid who plays Eddie, is very, you know, he's terrified. And so Bill Skarsgård was talking about this, and he was like, you know, he acted so well that I was genuinely worried that I had, like, scared the shit out of him, or, like, that he was, like, mad at me. And Bill Skarsgård, like, after they finished filming the scene, he was like, Jack, are you okay? Are we good? And he's like, dude, I fucking love what you're doing with the character. Keep doing what you're doing. I love what you're doing with the character. It's so great. And stuff like that.
So great.
Yeah, it was really funny. I'm not doing it justice, but I think it was on, like,
I think maybe
Jimmy
like
Fallon or
Conan
something.
or Jimmy Fallon. I saw that clip. And I love that kind of the end of that is Bill Skarsgård saying like, yeah, he's gonna, like, I think Jimmy Fallon was like, yeah, he's gonna go far, and like Bill Skarsgård was like, yeah, I hope he hires me someday.
That's great.
Yeah, this effect where Bev comes in with the fire poker thing.
Yeah.
And just like seeing like the shots of it, of Pennywise, like that is so like freaky and,
it is.
And so well done.
Ugh. And him going down the well right here. Just his face.
Yes.
Ugh. Creepy crap.
Ugh. Soup's creepy.
Yep.
Have you ever had a Stephen King related nightmare?
I don't know. I don't think so.
I don't know. I know it sounds like I was fishing, for you to ask me, but I don't think I have. Have you ever accidentally gotten a friend's arm broken and have their mother swear you off of their friendship?
Not so much.
Okay, me neither. When Mrs. Kasprak refers to Bev as a dirty girl and everything, I really wonder if that's an intentional reference to Misery. And the way that, Kathy Bates, wow, one of the best villain characters in all of Stephen King. What is her name?
Man, it's like on the tip of my tongue.
Yeah, me too. But the way she refers to, Sheldon as,
Dirty Bird.
Dirty Birdie.
Yeah.
Yeah. Man, that's gonna bug me.
Annie Wilkes.
Took
a second.
Yeah, I can't wait till we cover that book.
Yeah, I can't wait to read that again.
Yeah.
I only read it once.
Oh, really?
When I was a kid, yeah.
Oh, I love it.
It's gonna be like The Shining again, like when I came back to that, yeah.
I just scratched my armpit and it hurts so bad.
He's leaking hamburger helper.
Oh, yeah.
God damn, it's a great line.
Did Richie already call her Molly Ringwald? Oh, there we go. Who invited Molly Ringwald into the group? I love that.
None of those kids has any idea who Molly Ringwald is.
Right. Well, it is 1989.
But I mean, like, the actors.
Oh, the actor, yeah.
Like, have no idea who she is.
Yeah. Yeah. I forgot the punch is, like, kind of brutal.
Yeah.
I really feel like the disconnect of the group, or the disbanding of it is pretty well done.
Yeah.
Yeah. It feels like even in out of context from like the actual plot of the movie, it feels like just like a genuine like friend fight. Like they are coming to terms with you know what's going on and everything, but it just feels like you could I don't know, it just feels very genuine. It doesn't feel forced at all.
Yeah, definitely. Great chemistry between all the kids.
Yep. I'm like, Mike, guys, I can't do this. It's like, guys, I just met you, but I gotta go.
Yeah. It's funny, we're watching this with subtitles, so we can, you know, see what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know if, as Beverly was talking about it, the subtitles, like, it was capitalized.
Oh, yeah.
Is that grammatically correct?
Yeah.
Or is that just a thing they're doing, like a cool thing they're doing with the subtitles?
I think grammatically it's correct because it's like a proper noun. Like
okay.
I don't
have good grammar, so.
Yeah, me not too good with English. But this montage is kind of interesting.
Yeah.
Time passing and everything, which is what a montage is. But it's interesting because like, I don't know necessarily how I feel about them making, Bev into kind of the damsel that they have to go save. I feel like that's where it kind of loses just a little bit of ground for me.
Mm-hmm.
There's a cat on screen.
Oh my God.
And as a cat father, this freaked me out because I hate to see cats, in any kind of danger. But this happened in a year, 2017, where we had a lot of cat fiction. Like in Stranger Things, there was, things that horror befell a cat. And then here in 2019, we've got Pet Sematary, a bunch of other cat related stuff. Oh, Captain Marvel has a cat.
Oh yeah.
So yeah. Have you seen Captain Marvel yet?
Oh yeah.
Did we talk about it?
I think we did, yeah.
Okay. We probably shouldn't talk about it on Tower Junkies though.
Yeah.
I really like this interaction between Henry and his father. It's kind of like a quintessential like bully with a shitty father kind of thing.
Right.
Yeah. And poor Eddie.
That was a good line though. Nothing like a little fear to make a paper man crumble.
Yeah, that was good.
I don't think I really picked up on that in past viewings.
Me neither. Yeah. This is like just so mean, I guess. I mean, it's informative for him, but like when she signs his cast, it's like, that's sad.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Ugh. And it kind of makes me uncomfortable wondering, well, I don't know what the context is for this character in the pharmacy and everything, but like if like she's related to Mr. Keene or anything, but like just like seeing him being so creepy toward Bev is like, what is he, like how is he acting toward her?
Yeah. Right.
Yeah. I like how this is pretty authentic to the book because he does find the package in the mailbox with the knife.
Right.
Yeah. And I like that when we get to it here in a minute, that when he goes back inside and it's like the like variety show that's on TV, like transforms into Pennywise and telling him to kill them all.
Very creepy.
Very creepy. And true to the book too.
Mm-hmm.
And I think in the book it was his birthday, but I don't think they do that here.
Okay.
Yeah.
How many times have you read the book?
Like twice.
Okay.
I think. Yeah, because I've only listened to it.
Okay.
But like when I listened to it because I listened to it like a few months ago, in preparation for chapter 2 and this, but like I don't know if I've read or listened to any book that so captures the feeling of summer to me.
Yeah.
And like I could see myself doing like a yearly reread or re-listen in summertime of it. Cause it's so good.
Mm-hmm.
And Audible makes it real easy.
Yeah.
They don't sponsor us, so.
Right.
Don't, you know. Yeah. And just like that alone is creepy in itself, just like that woman with the kids on TV.
Mm-hmm.
But like the way she's so cheerily saying that is just so creepy.
Yeah.
And then it transforms.
Such a nice knife.
Yeah. And it's so like that. That's so, and again, the blood. I love the blood in this movie. Have you ever taken a knife? I'm kidding.
Clown Daddy.
Clown Daddy? Yes. Oh God. Oh God. I need to give Kirsten shit for that. Oh God, that's great. So here we get the confrontation with Bev and her dad. And in the book, it's handled better, in my opinion. But they couldn't really do what they did in the book per se. Well, they could have. But anyway, in the book, he like kind of chases her through town. And I think he is like overtly really trying to like sexually assault her.
Okay.
But it's interesting in the book because none of the townspeople, like people see her, but they turn a blind eye to her.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Which in the movie probably would have been redundant and everything. But also I think here it is creepy. It's unsettling because they're in such close quarters.
Yeah.
You're still my little girl, aren't you? Pizza, you're still my little girl, aren't you? Okay.
That's a yes.
Yeah, she is. She's my little girl. She's so pretty. Gosh, should I dress her up as Pennywise for Halloween?
Please don't.
I should.
No.
I should. I will. Oh my God. She's going to be so scary. She is kind of an apex predator.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you see my picture of her in murder mode?
I did.
Yeah.
I done seen that.
Yep. Check out my Instagram at instagram.com/obsessiveviewer. And also Tower Junkies Pod. So I need to post more on Instagram.
Mm-hmm.
She's still my girl. Ugh. God. It's so, like, that is frightening. Like, and that's what I mean about, like, the idea of fear in a horror movie. Like, evoking fear in the audience in a horror movie. Like for me at least, when I'm here in my 30s. Like, the idea of this young woman being potentially, like, physically assaulted and sexually assaulted by her father. Like, that is horrific.
Mm-hmm.
And the way it's depicted, like I said, with such close quarters and everything is just so unsettling.
Definitely.
Yeah.
I don't know why, but I thought I remembered Mr. Marsh being like in a wife beater.
Oh, that's interesting.
I might be thinking of the miniseries. I don't remember though.
Yeah, he might pop his shirt off. I don't know.
Pop his shirt off.
Oh,
damn.
that is so brutal.
Yeah.
And that, like, okay, if I was, like, being, like, chased and I went into the bathroom, that is a very effective idea, to take the top of the toilet tank and, you know, smash someone's head in.
It is a blunt instrument.
Yes. I want to say that is...
That's Maine?
Maybe. Because I want to say that might actually be the standpipe in Banger. That is, like, what directly influenced Stephen King to create, like, the dairy standpipe in the book.
Okay.
Let me actually Google that real quick. Because I've seen pictures of it. Someday, Tiny, we should take a trip to Maine and podcast about it. Yeah, it's called the Thomas Hill Standpipe.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that's it.
Yeah, it looks like it.
Yeah, it looks just like it. That's awesome. Cool. That is so cool. I never put that together.
Yeah.
Wow. But yeah, like go on a tour of Stephen King stuff. Like they have like tours that they
oh, totally. That'd be awesome.
Yeah. Yeah. We'll figure something out.
Mm-hmm. And to go to the Stanley Hotel.
Yes.
That'd
God,
be so cool.
Donate to us, please.
Yeah. I know Paige wants to go to Maine.
Oh yeah.
She'd like to see it. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. Nice. And I would force her to do like a Stephen King tour.
Very nice.
Yeah. I'm like, look, you married me.
Right. You married Stephen King just as much as you married me.
If you can't handle me at my worst, you don't deserve me at my best. So, I actually said that to Paige once.
Oh God!
It was in jest, but not really.
Oh God!
It was Well, it was on race day.
Sure.
And I had drank a case of beer. I was plowed. And she was
nuts.
She was like helping me. Like I was in the bathroom, and like I was like. I like almost fell and she like had to catch me and she was like, oh God, you are a mess. And I was like, you can't handle me at my worst. You don't deserve me at my best. God. And she just died laughing.
Did she immediately stop helping you?
Yes. Yeah.
Good for her.
Yep.
The iconic their gazebos line just happened. And this is where he, like that actor, he is amazing.
He's great.
Yeah.
I loved him in Shazam too.
Yeah, me too. Me too. He also had a very small role in an episode of Comedy Bang Bang. I just want to reference Comedy Bang Bang because I love that show and podcast. It's great. Yeah. And like Eddie's mother, like the way that like she looks so sweaty and grimy is just, it's so unique, and I hope that that's not how she is in real life.
Yeah, it's like a bit of a theme with the adults in this movie.
Oh yeah. Richie with the bottle. That's great.
That's so funny.
Oh, that's awesome. I was going to say something about all that stuff, but I can't remember. I don't know. We should drunk podcast.
Oh, God.
Yeah. I'll put that on the books for us.
All right.
Yeah.
I like never drink anymore.
Yeah, honestly, me neither, really.
Mm.
Yeah. Yeah. And seeing that rat on the piano was creepy. Rodents freak me out.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah.
That didn't really bother me.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting. Well, when I lived with my parents in that old townhouse, like, we had, like, a mouse infestation.
Oh, really?
For a long time.
Mm.
And it was just,
Yeah.
Like, that place wasn't great, but it was.
Yeah.
Like, when I moved out my closet, when I got, like, it was piled up with a bunch of junk and everything. Like, when we took everything out, like, there was, like, piles of, like, mouse turds.
Oh, boy.
Just disgusting.
Ugh.
Yeah. Ooh. So would you go down a well like that?
Hell no.
Yeah.
Absolutely not.
Same Z's.
Yeah.
Just, ugh.
Like, one of my, like, terrifying fears is, like...
Enclosed spaces?
Yeah, or like if I had a job where I had to go down to a manhole.
Oh, yeah.
No thanks. I'm not saying I wouldn't do it, but you had to pay me super well.
Yeah.
Like $35 an hour.
Jeez.
Or $1 million.
Oof.
I just...
Patreon.com/obsessiveviewer. I will...
grosses me out.
I will make that a tier of the podcast on Patreon. Oh. God. I really like the design of the well and everything that they go down.
They nailed it, yeah.
They did, and I kind of wonder how they're going to do the kind of climax in it chapter 2.
Uh-huh.
Because, like, it would be redundant if they went to the same place.
Right.
But then several years have passed, so it could look different, or that could justify it looking different.
Yeah.
This I love because... for a couple of reasons. One, it's Bev waking up in the kind of lair. And I love the way that it became a meme. Like, I would spend, like, a long time watching just, like, a supercut of different music played when Pennywise came out to do the little dance thing.
It's one of the funny things that sort of took off from this movie.
Yeah. But I also love the kind of mountain of child things and like, the floating children elements. Really cool.
Because it's like he's a serial collector who's collecting trinkets from all his kills.
Absolutely.
And it's a literal mountain.
Yeah. And it's also, it's giving an interesting context to the idea of like, you'll float too, and everything. Because that's not in the book.
Right.
It's just really interesting. It's an interesting enhancement to the story that I think works really well for the film medium.
Yes. Yeah.
I guess he doesn't dance yet.
Mm.
Here we go. Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't remember any of the examples of the memes or anything. But like, I don't know. But I love the way that the camera is like, I don't know how they did it or what the technical term is for it, but it's like, I can't describe, or I don't know how to describe it. But it's like, the camera is like maybe stationary or bouncing and like I don't know.
Yeah.
Crap, I don't know, like it's,
like a forced perspective thing or something? I don't know if that's right.
Yeah. It's fixed on him. It's like stabilized on him.
Okay.
And everything around him moves.
Yeah.
But he's in, frame and, he's stabilized. I like the idea of it just being like fear. He feeds on their fear and everything. Right. It's just like, that's, God. And this is so creepy. Like, it's essentially, it's the deadlights. Yeah. And I love that they included that and how creepy that is.
Mm-hmm. And it's not even really explained either.
No.
Like, not that it has to be.
Right. And I really appreciate the movie for that.
Yeah. we can sort of assume that it'll be explained better in the second part, you know.
Mm-hmm. I kind of wonder if since they are doing like flashbacks with the kids and everything, I kind of wonder if they're going to do the smoke hole thing, because in the book, the smoke holes, they kind of do it to try to learn more about Pennywise, I guess.
Right.
But I guess they wouldn't really need to since they had the whole thing with the map or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. God, I really like Henry as the deranged killer.
Mm-hmm.
Like that actor does a really good job.
Yeah.
Again, it's like kind of it could be like a thankless role. Like it could be, or a really difficult role even, just because, I mean, he's the physical adversary for them, but it's like he's competing with fucking Pennywise, the dancing clown.
Right.
And Bill Skarsgård, who's knocking it out of the park.
He could have been a total Joffrey Baratheon.
Yeah, totally. He could have been kind of whiny and...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or just, like, universally hated.
Right.
Like a career-defining thing.
Mm-hmm. God, I really like the way that plays out with the kind of bolty thingy.
Makes me think of No Country for Old Men.
Oh, yeah. I haven't seen that in a long time.
Same thing, really. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was creepy. Or that was crazy, I should say.
Right.
With Henry falling. Yeah. Ugh.
Damn it, Mike.
I know, right? Damn kids. And this is like the ultimate, like, dark area for them. Ugh. Yeah, and I love that they incorporated Stan as having, like, arguably maybe one of the scariest moments.
Yes.
Or most threatening moments. Yeah. Like when I saw it, I was like, that's setting up the sequel really well.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. And like when they find him and he's like looking into the deadlights and everything and he's freaking out, screaming like, "You're not my friends, you're not my friends." Like that just felt like I felt for the kid.
Mm-hmm.
It's so powerful. I love it.
Yeah.
But we'll get to that here in a second.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I forgot that the painting lady comes back.
Yeah.
That is super creepy.
Ooh.
Yeah. Like the kind of tippy taps.
Yes.
Yeah.
Ooh.
So creepy.
Yeah. I should know this, but is Andy Machete? Oh. Is Andy Machete directing the sequel too?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep. That shot where he's looking into the deadlights and the mouth kind of comes out kind of xenomorph-like a little bit.
Yeah.
Super, super creepy.
Mm-hmm.
I like that Pennywise is just like, all right, I'm out of here.
He's like, hey, it's me. Okay, bye.
Yep. Oh, God. It's like, I feel so, like, that's such a great, like, piece of acting for him, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And that's one of the more stark examples of how, this should not be, like, this isn't a kid's job.
Right.
Kids aren't supposed to be doing, like, this is way above what a child's mind an 11-year-old's mind can handle.
Right.
And that's him, like, literally freaking out, because this is it's just too much.
Oh, yeah.
And I would have been doing that, you know, I don't know, after the 10-minute mark of the movie.
Right.
We're almost to the end, and he waited that long before he freaked out.
Not me, man. I would have fucked that clown up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Beat his ass.
Yeah. So dumb.
Yeah.
And I like this that, and I wish that it wasn't technically like effective, but like when Ben kisses her here in a moment, Like, I thought that was really funny, just the reaction and everything. But I kind of wish that it, didn't, like I said, I wish it didn't, work out.
Yeah.
Because it is a little hokey.
Yeah, it's a bit of a cliche.
Yeah. But I like the moment, and we're getting ahead of it, but I like the moment where that's when she realizes the poem was Ben. I thought that was sweet.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and the whole idea of gray water. God. That's so creepy.
Ugh, disgusting.
Yeah.
I assume this entire set was constructed for the movie.
It's interesting because, yes, I believe it was. And there was a picture on, I think, the Stephen King subreddit that showed, a bunch of, the apparatus that was created for it. Mm-hmm. And it's, it's wooden tunnels, obviously above ground and everything.
Mm-hmm.
I'll try to find it. But it was really interesting. It looked kind of, pretty, detailed.
Yeah.
Or,
yeah, my point was it's an impressive set.
Right.
Well done.
Yeah. Oh yeah, this is where he kisses her.
And it's further exacerbated by the fact that it's so awkward.
Yeah. The real it was the friends they made along the way. I love the reactions, though.
It's like he was trying to eat her lips. This is how you kiss, right?
Is that not?
Oh, Maddie. All them were like, what the fuck are they talking about?
Right? I'm just kidding. I know how to kiss. Did you see the painting lady with Stan?
Oh my god.
I know.
I use a lot of teeth.
Yes. All sets of them.
Big Bill.
Yeah. I like that it culminates with him, to an extent, culminates with him and Georgie.
Mm-hmm.
It's just, man, imagine that.
Yeah.
And seeing your brother without an arm is freaking crazy.
Right. And just the way he comes to this, it's basically closure for him.
Yeah.
It's very mature.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
And we didn't really touch on it in the beginning, the scene with Georgie and Pennywise when Georgie keeps saying, oh, Bill's gonna kill me, and then Pennywise is like, Bill's gonna kill you.
Yeah.
It's so eerie and, unsettling.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's very mature, and it's good that he, recognizes that it's not really Georgie.
Yeah.
The actor that played Georgie was in a movie called The Prodigy, just a creepy, maybe not possessed, but creepy demonic kid movie.
Mm-hmm.
It looked good. I never saw it. It came out this year. Kind of might want to check it out.
Yeah, what you're talking about. I didn't see it either.
Hmm. And I love that, the design of Georgie falling down and just having that hole in his forehead.
Mm-hmm.
And it's when it's not like he immediately transforms, now he is, but that beat where he's not transforming is just that little bit of kind of, I don't know, concern or fear that maybe he didn't do the right thing. I just like how it holds for a beat before we get into the final battle.
Yeah.
That's a creepy shot with Georgie's head.
Totally.
And Pennywise's costume. That's so cool.
There are several good, like, aerial shots in the movie. Most notably when Georgie gets dragged into the sewer.
Mm-hmm.
That's creepy as crap.
Oh, absolutely. And I kind of like the, almost Power Rangers-esque, kind of like one-on-one, like they each kind of beat him up a little bit.
Yeah.
It kind of reminds me of Power Rangers where they would all like a team of Power Rangers would go one by one against the enemy.
Mm-hmm.
God, that is so frightening.
Right.
And threatening. See, they're just one-on-one.
Yeah.
Were you a big Power Rangers fan?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
Good.
Never got a Megazord.
Good. Oh, really?
Never got one.
Ugh.
It's too expensive.
Yeah, that sucks.
Yeah. And what's interesting about this is like this is like a fight. Like it's weird. I love the way he's like rubbing his face. And
yeah.
It's
like, so invasive.
And it's one of those extra, like, I wonder if that was in the script or if he was just like, you know, just like, I'm going to be extra creepy and weird in this. But like this is, it's interesting because like the creature, it's not like feeding on them right here.
Right.
It's like this is like a legit fight.
Yeah.
And it kind of makes me wonder, like, has it ever like had to defend itself like this before?
Oh, that's a good question.
It's kind of an interesting
kind of thought exercise.
Right. Like it's not trying to kill them.
Yeah.
Like I wonder if is it trying to kill them or does it want to save them so that it can feed off of their fear?
Right.
Type thing. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Cause you would think physically it would just be able to manhandle them and just, you know, it wouldn't even be a challenge, but.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just food for thought, I guess.
Yeah. Fear for thought.
Yeah.
But yeah, I do like the concept of like feeding on their fear and everything. And like the way that Pennywise was kind of bargaining with them because he kind of realizes like, oh, okay, well maybe I won't win this because like you said, it's probably the first time he's ever been fought.
Right.
And I love the way he's like, you'll live rich lives and die of old age and everything. It's like, it's really, cool setup, I would say.
Mm-hmm.
And I love this. The Richie's big moment was like, I'm gonna have to kill this fucking clown. So great. Like, I remember in the theater just like cheers.
Yeah.
It's great. Oh yeah, the, burnt arms coming out when Mike does it. That's awesome.
Pretty cool.
Yeah. Yeah, like each
iteration of the creature.
Yeah. Iteration.
Yeah.
And I like that, the spider kind of pincers.
It's like grasping at straws, like what's gonna scare these kids or whatever, yeah.
Yeah. And I like that as potentially a nod to the book and also foreshadowing maybe for part 2.
Uh-huh.
But yeah. And that's it. I never noticed that, and I'll have to revisit the book and find out, but the mummy, like the kind of wrapping of the mummy against Ben, I think that's a tie to the book because Ben, like was chased by the mummy, like the Universal Monsters mummy.
Right, yeah.
It may have been Ben, I don't know. Yeah, ugh. I like that Bev has like almost no hesitation there.
Yeah.
God, this is such a satisfying climax.
It is.
Name of my sex tape. But, stupid.
I love how it feels like it's like an indefatigable fight. Like neither side can really win.
Yeah.
Like I think it realizes that he's not going to be able to just scare them or just it's not some little fly he can just swat away.
Right.
But I think the kids, because of their naivety, think they could just, you know, they're going to physically defeat this thing with pieces of pipe and a baseball bat.
Yeah. Still insists he sees the ghosts. I love this because it's part one of a 2-part movie, but it doesn't feel like it's incomplete. It doesn't feel like it's part one.
Yeah.
I love the way that his head kind of breaks apart like that.
Mm-hmm.
There's something to the kind of fluidity of that, but still being a solid is really just, well realized.
Yeah.
But, like, this movie does not feel incomplete. Like, it tells a complete story, complete character arcs for 7 characters it's insane.
Yeah.
And is, and is super creepy and, effective on that level too.
Yeah, there's no, like, annoying cliffhanger.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and all the kids floating down. Yeah. And we're coming up, obviously, on the end of the movie, but, when they do their blood pact thing, like, man, I'll turn up the sound a little bit too so we can kind of comment on it, but the score in that is like, it may be the same music from the Corey scene now that I think about it.
Okay.
But it's so just beautiful. Closure for Bill.
Yeah.
Yeah. God, it's the same kind of sense that I get when I watch like Stranger Things that, like, I feel like these kids are all destined for like long careers.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that that's come to fruition pretty well because like, the kid who plays Bill is going to be in Ryan, Johnson's new movie, Knives Out.
Okay.
And, Sophia Lilas, she was in that one movie, Nancy Drew.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah, so cool.
Yeah, hopefully they have some staying power.
Mm-hmm. And their little quartet is having their little palaver. And I like that Bev is depicting or reciting this about kind of having a vision of them as adults.
Mm-hmm.
Just like little pieces like that is setting up the sequel, hopefully really well.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then Bill makes the oath that they're going to swear to come back.
Yes.
If it comes back. Yeah. Did you ever do a blood pact as a kid?
No, not so much. That's pretty extreme.
It is. You never did like Blood Brothers?
No.
Oh, interesting.
No.
I don't think I did, but let me turn up the sound a little bit so we can hear it.
Okay.
It's definitely a different score from the Corey scene. But I think I may have turned it up too early. Because now it's kind of starting to come in a little bit, kind of, I don't know, kind of triumphant. It just kind of scores the bond that they all share now really well. But I think it's when they hold hands, when they start to kind of come together, that's when it really kicks in.
Okay.
Yeah, here. The kind of floaty kind of just like I don't know, I love it. It's
very Explosions in the Sky.
Yes.
Yeah, it
it
reminds me of
totally
that.
feels like that.
Yeah.
And of course the close up of the cast with Lover instead of Loser. That God, like I remember like the second or third time maybe that I saw this, like I got kind of teary eyed at this point. And again, it kind of closes on a really kind of quintessential coming of age story moment. And actually, I think I That's not the same area that they were at when they were walking by where the train was.
Oh, yeah, it's a little different.
Yeah. But that kind of covered bridge thing is really cool.
Definitely. A lot of good set work.
Yeah. But again, about this, I like that Stan's the first one to leave. I think that's kind of cool.
Mm-hmm.
And then we're left with Ben and Bev and Bill. And then Ben leaves. I'm just narrating what's going on, by the way.
You are.
Yeah. Yeah.
Is it implied that she killed her dad, basically?
It is, I think it's left more ambiguous than actually implying it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
I have a suspicion about the next movie. Yeah.
Okay.
We'll save that for the It Chapter 2 review.
Okay.
I love this where he runs up and kisses her.
So cute.
It is. And then she puts her hand on his face and there's blood all over his face. It's, yeah.
It is a horror movie.
It is, yeah. I think the music kind of pumps up here too. And it's just like, I love the score of this movie.
I never noticed the music as much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's kind of an interesting concern. We talked about it earlier a little bit, but just the idea of them, like, it's got to be frightening for the adult actors, even though, I mean, we have like Jessica Chastain and, oh God, what is his name?
James McAvoy. Bill Hader.
Like talented actors and everything. And I love this, chapter 1. But like, it's gotta be some pressure on them to actually deliver on, like, are they going to be able to capture that chemistry that the Losers Club as kids had?
Yeah, that is a lot of pressure.
Whereas like capturing the chemistry and then also capturing it in a way that shows that they've, been apart for 27 years.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah. So that's it. Our commentary track.
Yeah.
So the cast, Bill Denbrough, Jaden Lieberher, really good. Ben Hascom, played by Jeremy Ray Taylor, really good. Beverly Marsh, Sophia Lillis, really good. Richie Damn it.
Good try.
I tried. I tried. I went way too slow.
Yeah.
Way too slow. Yeah, so any parting thoughts on It Chapter 1?
Really well done and just a great movie. I think this was my number 3 movie of the year in my top 10.
That sounds right.
Yeah, I think it was my number 3, but yeah, I mean, and this was a great year for horror as well.
2017.
Hereditary and...
Was Hereditary in 2017?
Wasn't it? Or am I thinking of last year?
You're thinking of last year.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, I really love this movie.
Me too.
I think, I don't know if there could ever be an adaptation of it that would be better. I mean, hopefully the second one is equally as enjoyable as this, but
right.
I'm thinking, as far as at least this part of the story, I don't know that we could get a better adaptation.
I agree. Yeah, and this was both of our number 3s on our top 10 in 2017, and Mike, our co-host on Sabbatical on Obsessive Viewer, it was his number 1.
Right.
So yeah, but that's something I was going to ask you as we kind of close out this episode, but do you think down the road, like, this is a really well done adaptation and it's really effective, it's really great. Do you think down the road there would be room to make like a TV series adaptation, like a limited series that's not like 3 episodes, but like a 13 episode season?
I mean, it's possible, and I don't think it would be bad, but I don't know. It's just depending on how this concludes with the second movie. For fatigue purposes and everything, I just don't know that.
Yeah, a lot of time would have to pass for that.
Yeah, I don't know how I'd feel in 20 years.
Yeah.
Who knows?
And how did you feel watching this for now the 3rd time in your life?
Great. I mean, it re-solidified a lot of my opinions about it. Nice. I don't think I'd change anything I've said or any positions I've put it on any lists or anything.
Nice. Same. It's my, like I said, it's my go-to movie, when I'm, like editing and stuff. Funny, one of the head carpenters is David Palmer, president from 24. Anyway, closing thoughts, expectations for the sequel. How do you feel going into it? Are you excited, nervous, anything?
I'm wicked excited, but I'm also just nervous that they're not going to be able to pull it off.
Yeah.
Cause I think this is the sequel, the conclusion is the hardest part to do. I think it's one of Stephen King's best endings that he's ever come up with. And it's just a lot of pressure.
I agree. I have faith that they'll do it justice, but I also am going in recognizing that the end to this story, the way that they're splitting up this story with the kids and then adults in the sequel, this portion of the story I'm going in prepared for it to be more open to interpretation and adaptation and changes than part one. So I'm kind of going in with that expectation. There are things that I hope that they do and things I think they will do, but I'm looking forward to it. I can't wait.
Yeah.
Yep. So, all right, that's our commentary for It Chapter 1. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Let us know what you thought of our commentary, and also let us know if you watched the movie while listening to it, because I'm always curious about that. But how do you feel about doing these commentary tracks, Tiny?
It's fun. I remember when you first talked about us doing one. And I don't even remember what the first one was we did.
Dark Tower.
Was it Dark Tower?
Yeah.
But yeah, I was hesitant, but I feel like you and I have a good rapport. And
yeah, I think so too.
Yeah, it's always fun to flesh out everything in real time as you're watching a movie. So
yeah, it's a lot more reaction than having prepared things. And we talked to the end of the credits.
We did.
Yeah, so cool. Good job us. All right, well, thank you guys so much for listening. Check us out on Patreon, patreon.com/obsessiveviewer. There's Pennywise laughing at the end of the credits. That's cool. But check us out on Patreon, patreon.com/obsessiveviewer. Minimum donation of $1 per month gets you access to an RSS feed. That's just us bullshitting a lot. Also, I'm going to be a guest on the Between Science and Superstition podcast, the Twilight Zone podcast. I'm really excited about that. I'm recording that Wednesday. I can't wait. And then, yeah, check out our other podcasts, Obsessive Viewer and Anthology. Links in the show notes and the pre-recorded outro. I'm tired. I want to go to bed. Tiny.
Me too.
Yeah.
Very
all right.
much so.
So, yeah. So thank you guys so much for listening. Long days and pleasant nights.
And may you have twice the number.
And now, here's a short clip from our Patreon exclusive RSS feed. To hear the full clip and more exclusive Patreon content, go to patreon.com/obsessiveviewer and become a patron at the minimum rate of $1 per month. Thank you and enjoy. I did do something really stupid the other day that I'm gonna record. I have this recorded forever. But whenever I throw her toys, and she runs after and chases it, like she's kind of a dumb cat, so she just runs at it, and like wherever it lands, she just stands by it. Sometimes she'll like jump up and like try to catch it with her paws, and then like midway through, she's like, "Oh, I don't have any thumbs." But since I live alone and I just have a cat and I'm completely alone in my life, I will throw the toy and then I'll just say instinctively as her, say like, "Hey, I get the toy. I get the toy." So the other day I did that and that turned into, I don't know if I'm going to be able to do this with a straight face, but it turned into me throwing the toy and then imagining and then reciting her saying, "I get the toy," and I get it again. "You're never going to get the toy. I get the toy."
Oh my God.
And I texted that to Kirsten And she just sent a GIF that was just like a very like judgmental look. And then I just put like musical notes, and I was like, hissing the night away.
Oh my God.
Hissing the night away. And then, I take a water drink, I take a salsa drink. And then I didn't think anything further.
Jesus Christ. And there go all of our Patreon subscribers.
I know. Please tell your friends about how embarrassing this Patreon feed is.
Good God.
I get that toy, and I get it again.
Oh my God.
Tower Junkies is edited and produced by Matt Hurt and presented by ObsessiveViewer.com. For a full archive of our episodes, go to towerjunkiespod.com/archive. You can also like our Facebook page at facebook.com/towerjunkiespod and follow us on Twitter at towerjunkiespod. If you enjoy the show, please take a couple minutes to leave us a rating and a quick review on Apple Podcasts. This is the easiest way to support what we do, and all it costs is just a little bit of your time. If you'd like to donate to the podcast, you can make a PayPal donation at towerjunkiespod.com/donate or support us on Patreon for recurring donations and access to commentary tracks and B-roll audio recorded exclusively for patrons at patreon.com/obsessiveviewer. Every donation goes toward paying the fees to keep the podcast running and is greatly appreciated. For official Obsessive Viewer merch, including shirts, mugs, phone cases, and more, visit our TeePublic store. You can find a link to the store in the show notes of this episode and at obsessiveviewer.com/donate. Or you can simply search for Obsessive Viewer at teepublic.com. For information about our annual live event showcasing short horror films from local filmmakers, check out shocktoberinirvington.com. And for an archive of all our events, as well as news about potential future events, head over to obsessiveviewer.com/live. For more podcast content, you can find our flagship movie and TV review and discussion show, The Obsessive Viewer Podcast, at obsessiveviewer.com and on Twitter at obsessiveviewer. You can also find Anthology, Matt's solo podcast covering The Twilight Zone, and other classic and contemporary science fiction anthology TV shows at anthologypod.com and OV Anthology Pod on Twitter. And finally, check out The Secular Perspective, Tiny's side project podcast, which tackles current events and life's big questions from the perspective of secular hosts Chad and Amanda at thesecularperspective.com. Music for the podcast is provided with permission from Fingers T on YouTube. Additional bumper music is provided courtesy of As Good As It Gets, which can be found at facebook.com/asgoodasitgetsband. Thank you so much for listening. Long days and pleasant nights.
Kitty!